need to leave proper to one the smartphone, the mobile phone, the same tomorrow, meeting, mobile, computer, one.
Now, we want to invest at a good moment. You are as a meal of every good help and be done with the jury. The Africa, the Nigeria, and Myanmar, the Canada, she gets the jury. And I put the video in Myanmar, the SME, help and be done with the
So I think the important thing there in small and medium-sized enterprises is how we partner with local manufacturers to help us roll out. So if I make an example of distribution, just by creating distribution partners, we're building businesses in it. If I talk about manufacturing, simple thing like manufacturing posters, t-shirts, etc., we manufacture locally. And we try and work with local partners to build those small businesses.
The manufacturer distribution with an element of people. I don't know the SME who need come out from our solution, 20 years solution, the talent tomorrow supplier in a to every lot of somewhere before me. Now manufacturers will don't have to bound be on the Mayo Tabilo, need to do something. Now the low coupons on the level of SME.
The certain that you are putting from that, you know, to the MTN in Bioma, MTN, running a preview game, so we manage and are eventually the hour, chat with the tab you are young.
Well, I think, like I said, we've talked about the job opportunities, which is quite a big one. We've talked about the speed of rollout, which means that the people of Myanmar who have not had, or some who have not had access to the latest, the greatest technology, won't get it out there as quickly as possible. We also talk about constantly investing in our innovation. So it's not just bringing basic voice and data, but bringing the latest in voice and data. We also talk about, in our foundation, business development, which says we talk with local communities, we talk with partners. You saw in terms of our MTN Foundation, it's not just about a business that comes here to make money. It is a business that invests in the local communities and uplifts the community as well. So it's not just about telephony, but it's about being part of the community of Myanmar.
MTN in Malay and the Lula, we saw it at the Takara and the local community will be young in the way. Having one out of the road, yours and I, data can be MTN to go in the community, we saw it at the company. Data can be to the one need to have be on engine. The right is sitting at the nozzle meeting area, we don't have and look big on it. Not about a little in Isama, any high aloma, without in a coupon somewhere. Data through Purangua, data can say the pine chin at all somewhere.
Every now, every time I get every shadow would be no doubt to my blood
Well, I think once those plans have been completed, I think the examples I made, if you look at the sizable investment, if you look at Iran, we spent over $286 million just in the initial start. If you look at Nigeria, just alone last year, we spent over R1 billion in infrastructure. So I think the approach for us is to say it's not really about being limited by investment, but really making sure that we expand as quickly as possible with the highest quality, whatever is required.
The project in US solution, Iran solution, the Amazon dollar, while that she's a child initial stage of Iran. Now we design the solution through the Indian and loan sheet and the interest rates are and the top of the low some money and through Namia, JJ, who check and walk away for
Well, I think if you look at the examples I made of Uganda and Rwanda and Iran, we took 6 months to roll out. It depends on the challenges in the country, but we want to get it out as quickly as possible. So once it's been awarded, if you you look at the way we've operated, within 6 months we were able to switch on and move full commercial.
ဒီရဝမ်ဒါတို့ဒီရန်တို့ကိစ္စကြီးကြည့်လို့ရှိရင်ဒါနိုင်ငံရဲ့အနေထားပုံကြည့်ရပေါ့နော်အနည်းဆုံးတော့သူတို့ဒီ6လအတွင်းမှာဖြစ်အောင်လုပ်အောင်လေဒါပေမဲ့လက်စိတ်ဖုံးမှုတွေဘယ်လောက်ရှိတယ်ပေါ့ပါလဲသူတို့အနေနဲ့ကတော့မြန်မြန်ညံ့ညံ့ဆောင်ရွက်ပေးပါမယ်
ဟုတ်ကျွန်တော်ပြည်သူ့ဘောဆိုင်ပေါ့ကျွန်တော်သိနေတာအခုဥပဒေမထွက်သေးတဲ့ပေါ်မှာဈေးကွက်ချက်တွေကိုတွေဒီကချက်တွေကိုဘယ်လိုအမြင်အနေနဲ့ဘယ်လိုလုပ်ဆောင်တာလဲကျွန်တော်သိတယ်ပေါ့ဒီဥပဒေမထွက်သေးတဲ့ပေါ်ဘယ်လိုမြင်ပါလဲ
We are aware that the law is being promulgated and formulated, and obviously we will wait the guidance of the ministry there. It doesn't stop us from, that's why we are here, that's why we're looking in terms of where we need to build our infrastructure, where we need to have offices. We do have local partners in place, and I think it's no different from any other new operation where we came in, and the law was being formulated as we do. So we've got the formula, we know what is required, and I think once the law is in place, we can then execute faster.
သူတို့အနေနဲ့ကတော့သူတို့ကဒီနိုင်ငံတကာမှာလှုပ်ဆောင်နေတဲ့ဒီကမ္ဘာအဖွဲ့အစည်းတွေဖြစ်နေတဲ့အခါကျတော့ဒီဘက်မှာဒီလိုမျိုးဥပဒေပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာအရအဆင့်သင့်ဖြစ်သေးပေမဲ့လည်းသူတို့ဒါကိုတစ်ဖက်ကစောင့်နေနေတယ်တစ်ဖက်ကသူတို့တားဆီးလို့မရဘူးသူတို့အနေနဲ့ဒါကိုဆက်ပြီးတော့လိုအပ်တဲ့အခြေခံဆောင်တွေအကုန်လုံးလုပ်ပါမယ်ဒီဘက်ကဥပဒေအဆင့်သင့်ဖြစ်လာဆိုတဲ့အခါမျိုးမှာမြင်မြင်လုပ်လို့ရမှုတွေအတူတူပြင်နေစီပြီးတော့အဲဒါကြောင့်သူတို့ဒီနေရာကိုဒီရောက်လာဖြစ်ပါတယ်အဲ့တော့ဥပဒေအဆင့်သင့်ဖြစ်ပြီးဆိုတာလည်းအဲ့ဒီမှာဆက်နေတယ်မြင်မြင်ဆောင်ရွက်ပါ
ဥပဒေအစင်းနဲ့ဖြစ်ပြီးမှဆောင်ရွက်နိုင်တယ်
အခုကတော့ဒီ infrastructure တွေလို့ခုပဲသူတို့ကြိုပြီးတော့ပြင်ဆင်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်သူတို့ကဒီ law ကိုစောင့်မနေချင်ဘူးဒါပေမဲ့လည်းဝန်ကြီးဌာနတွေနဲ့ပြီးပြီးတော့ဆောင်ရွက်ကမှာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်သူတို့အနေနဲ့ဒီမှာဘာတွေလိုနေတယ်လဲဆိုတာသူတို့သိတယ်ပေါ့နော်လုပ်ငန်းတစ်ခုလုပ်တော့မယ်ဆိုရင်ဘယ်လို process တွေထည့်ရမလဲဆိုတာအတိုင်းအတာသူတို့အခြေအနေဒီသားဖြစ်နေတယ်အဲ့တော့ဒီဘက်ကသူတို့ကြိုတင်ပြင်ဆင်ပြီးတော့သူတို့လုပ်နေတယ်ဒီဘက်ကလည်းဥပဒေရလာကိုသူတို့စောင့်နေနေတယ်ဒီဘက်ကလုပ်ဆက်ရှိတာဆက်လုပ်နေပါတယ်
ပေါ်ရင်ပြီးတော့နောက်တစ်ခုကmobile network အတွက် MTN လို့ဆောင်ဘယ်လောက်ကြီးရေးပါလဲကျွန်တော်သိတယ်
I think in most of our countries, MTN played a very big role in establishing the infrastructure. Like we said, we've shown examples of where we've built even our own connectivity across the country. Like in Nigeria, we went and built the whole thing from back in. I think what's important as well is to remember that improvement and penetration of mobile internet in the country has quite a significant contribution to GDP. So if people have access to internet and have access to mobile, it improves the GDP of the country. And that's how we want to play in Myanmar.
သူတို့အနေနဲ့ကတော့သူတို့ဒီတခြားနိုင်ငံတွေမှာလည်းဒီ mobile network ကိုပြီးကြတဲ့ဖြစ်အောင်ဆောင်ရွက်လာခဲ့တယ်။နောက်သူနားလည်ထားတာကဒီလို mobile network ကိုပို့ပြီးတော့ကောင်းလာခဲ့ရင်သူရဲ့ penetration တွေပါကောင်းလာတဲ့ညကျမတို့နိုင်ငံရဲ့ GDP နဲ့တက်လာမယ်လို့မျှော်လင့်တယ်။ဒါကြောင့်သူတို့အနေနဲ့ဒီဘက်က mobile network ကိုပို့ပြီးကျယ်ပြန့်လာအောင်တက်နိုင်တယ်လို့ဆောင်ရွက်တယ်။
ဟုတ်ဒီနေ့ကလေဒီ human rights watch ကထုတ်တဲ့ဒီ green investment ဆိုတဲ့ဒီ telecom reform နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ထုတ်ပြန်တာရှိတယ်။ဒါအရှိတော့ပုံပေါ်အခြေခံပြီးတယ်။သူတို့ကအင်ဘက်ကိုတွေမှာအဓိကပြောလာတာ international giant ဒီ telecom company ပြောင်းဝင်လာတဲ့အခါမှာဒီ human rights standard ကိုပေါ့နော်ဒီဘယ်လောက်ထိ giving က international standard လိုက်တိုင်းနေအောင်လိုက်တာဘယ်လောက်ရှိအဲ့ဒီဟာနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ဘယ်လောက်ဒီ human rights abuse မဖြစ်အောင်ဒီ government ကဒီ pressure ပေးဒီ internet network တွေကိုshut down ဖြစ်အောင်လို့ပြီးတော့ဒီ censorship တွေဖြစ်အောင်ဘယ်လောက်ထိလုပ်ထားမလဲဆိုတဲ့ဟာတို့ဒီမေးခွန်းထုတ်တာရှိတယ်အတိအကျနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ကြံပြလာတာရှိတယ်အတိအပေါ်ဒီ MTN အနေနဲ့ဘယ်လောက်ထိထည့်သွင်းစဉ်းစားတာရှိတယ်ဒီ human rights နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ risk assessment တွေလုပ်ထားတာရှိတယ်
I think the human rights element is something that is very critical to MTN's approach. You know, as Ambassador has said, we subscribe to global principles and global alignment that talks to that. We are, as a truly South African company, and noting the importance that South Africa plays in the space of human rights, we are obviously governed by the laws of our country. So we'll certainly ensure that whatever principles are guided by the government of our country, we follow the same rules. So we'll certainly abide by and be guided by what the South African government plays quite a significant role in informing and driving human rights policy around the world. So we always ensure that we are guided by the laws of our country and the laws of the country that we're in.
တို့ဒီနေ့ကခုနကတော့တို့ရဲ့ဒီတမ်းမှတ်လေးပြောထားခဲ့ပါတယ်ဒီလူခွင့်ရေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ African ကတော်တော်လေးကိုတို့ လူခွင့်ရေးနဲ့ကိုင်နေမှုရှိတာတော်တော်လေးစူးစမ်းအားထုတ်နေတယ်တခုနဲ့ရက်တည်တယ်။နောက်တို့ကလည်းဒီ African company တခုဖြစ်တဲ့အားလျော်စွာဒီ African နိုင်ငံရဲ့တို့နိုင်ငံရဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့စီမံစည်းကမ်းတွေလိုက်နာသွားမယ်။နောက်အခုလက်ရှိလုပ်နေတဲ့နိုင်ငံရဲ့တို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံဆိုတဲ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာတို့ရောက်နေတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မို့အဲ့ဒီသက်ဆိုင်ရာနိုင်ငံရဲ့ human rights ပေါ်မှာထားတဲ့သဘောထားတွေတို့လိုက်နာသွားပါတော့
။ဒီ assessment လုပ်ထားတာဒီရမယ်ဆိုရင်ဒီ assessment human rights assessment လုပ်တာတော့ဒီ expert တွေ human rights expert တွေတွေ့ဆုံတာတော့ပါတော့လုပ်ရရှိတာ business plan ဒီ human rights နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ဟာကိုတော့ဒီ seriously ပြည်နေထားတယ်
I think if you talk about the risk assessment around human rights, the fact that Myanmar has opened up, MTN is not just the only company coming through. There are lots of international companies that have come through, which talks to the fact that there has been positive improvement in human rights development in the country. So I think MTN follows the same principles as any other international coming in here. Through our government, we do liaise with the relevant human rights bodies to be updated on what the developments are. But I think the fact that Myanmar is sitting in a positive space means that there's been very good and positive movement in far as human rights is concerned.
လက်ရှိမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့နေထားတဲ့အရင်အထက်ပိုပြီးတော့ပွင့်လင်းနေတာပါတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်နိုင်ငံတကာဖွဲ့စည်းတွေဒီထဲမှာ MTN တခုတည်းမဟုတ်ဘဲနိုင်ငံတကာဖွဲ့စည်းတွေမျိုးစုံလည်းလာစားပြီအဲ့တော့ MTN အနေနဲ့ကလည်းတခြားနိုင်ငံတကာဖွဲ့စည်းတွေ human rights နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့သူတို့အနေနဲ့အလေးပေးဆောင်ရွက်မှုတွေတခြားတွေနဲ့ဒန်းတူအကုန်လုံးသူတို့လှုပ်ဆောင်သွားမယ်လက်ရှိမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့အနေထားလည်းပိုပြီးတော့အပြုသဘောဆောင်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်သူတို့အနေနဲ့လည်းဒီနေရာမှာလာပြီးတော့လုပ်ကြရတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ပိုပြီးအဆင်ပြေမယ်လို့ပြောနေတယ်
ဟုတ်ပါဘူးလက်ရှိဒီ perform ကဒီကောင်းလုံးနေတယ်ရှိတယ်ဒီ telecom ကလည်းဒီ user recognition ရှိတယ်ပေါ့ဒီ process set on နေလို့ရှိပါတယ်ဒီဘာလို့ဒီဘက်ကလိုက်နာလို့ရှိတယ်ဟုတ်ပြီးတော့ဒီအခုတော့အဓိကပေါ်မှာသူလုပ်နေတာရှိတယ် business plan ပြီးဒီ technical plan ပြီးဒီအပေါ်မှာသူလုပ်ခဲ့တဲ့ဟာရှိတယ်လုပ်ခဲ့တဲ့ဟာရှိတယ်ဒီမှာလည်းတော့ပြပြခဲ့ဒီတော့ safeguard policy ဘယ်လောက်လေးလုပ်ထားပြီလဲ human rights နဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ safeguard policy ဘယ်လောက်ရှိလဲ
Okay. So I think in that regard, if I look just a few weeks ago, our executive from our HR department was here meeting with local bodies in terms of not just human rights but also human skills development. It was quite important for us, as we said, in terms of the MTN Academy and the foundation, how we train people locally. In any operation, as any business, you do look and do risk assessment in terms of what the opportunities are, and also present the right gaps and the right covers for us. So I think as far as MTN is concerned, and looking at our HR people did, together with local NGOs on the ground, we're very, very comfortable with what the future lies ahead for us in Myanmar.
MTN တွေကအခုဒါတို့ရဲ့ဒီသက်ဆိုင်ရာဒီပြောက်ဒီလာသွားခဲ့တယ်ဒါပြီးတော့တို့ဒီမှာရှိနေတဲ့ဒေသခံဖွဲ့စည်းတွေအားလုံးပေါင်းပြီးတော့ human rights ကိစ္စတစ်ခုလည်းမဟုတ်ဘူးလူ့ခွင့်ကိစ္စတစ်ခုလည်းမဟုတ်ဘဲနဲ့ကျမတို့ဒီမှာရှိနေတဲ့လူသားစွမ်းရည်တွေကျမတို့မြင့်တင်ပေးနိုင်အောင်ဘယ်လိုလုပ်လဲဆိုတဲ့ကိစ္စတွေပေါ့အကုန်လုံးဆွေးနွေးခဲ့ပါတယ်။ဒါကြောင့် MTN ကတော့ဘယ်ကိစ္စပဲလုပ်လို့တို့ဒီ risk assessment ကတော့အများနဲ့လုပ်ရတာပဲလုပ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ဒီဘက်မှာ human rights နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့လုပ်နေတာတွေရှိတယ်နောက်ထပ်ဒီဘက်ကစွမ်းရည်ပိုင်းဆိုင်ရာခုမျိုးတို့တက်တယ်လုပ်ပေးနေတာတွေအများကြီးရှိပါတယ်ဒီဘက်ကဒေသခံတွေနဲ့တွေ့ပြီးတော့စကားတွေပြောထားတယ်နော်
ဆိုတော့ဘယ်လိုဆိုတော့ infrastructure ရှိနေပြီပေါ့နော်သူတို့ဒီ infrastructure ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ operator ရအောင် infrastructure တွေစပြီးဆောင်ရွက်မှာလားဒါမှမဟုတ်အခု operator ဝင်ပြီးတော့ဆောင်ရွက်မဲ့ချိန်နဲ့စပြီး infrastructure တွေကိုစပြီးဆောင်ရွက်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒီကိုသိနေတယ်
Well, I think obviously you cannot start building until the license has been issued. But for the past few months, our engineers have been around the country assessing all the spaces we require, what the required plans are. So right now we're busy working, putting forward those plans together, identifying the partners critical that when the license is issued, we can execute faster. So we can't build right now, but we are busy looking and ensuring that what is required, where it's required, who are the people required for us to help so that we can be fast once the license has been issued.
တော့ဒီ license မချပေးသေးတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်စလို့မရဘူးပေါ့နော်ဒါပေမဲ့သူတို့အနေနဲ့လောလောဆယ်အရင်လုပ်များနေပါတယ်ဒီမှာတို့ရဲ့ဒီ engineer တွေလည်းရောက်နေတဲ့ခါကျတော့ဘယ်နေရာတွေမှာဘယ်လိုပုံစံနဲ့ဆောင်ရွက်နိုင်လဲဘယ်သူတွေနဲ့ပူးပေါင်းဆောင်ရွက်နိုင်လဲဆိုတဲ့ကိစ္စတွေတို့အဲ့ကိစ္စတွေဆောင်ရွက်နေပါတဲ့စောက်တာကတော့ဒီ infrastructure ဒီစောက်ဖို့ဆိုလို့ license ချမှာပဲနော်ဒါပေမဲ့သူပြင်ဆင်နေတဲ့ခါ
ပြောချင်တဲ့တော့ဒီမှာစက်တော်ရင်းနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးဆောင်ရွက်လို့ရမယ်အခြေခံတို့လိုက်ပြီးစပြီးလေ့လာနေတယ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးလားပြောရအောင်အခုကသူတို့ဒီ MTN ရဲ့ foundation မှာလည်းကျွန်တော် slide တွေမှာလည်းကြည့်ရတယ် foundation သူတို့ဒီ MTN foundation နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီမှာဒီလို operator ဆောင်ရွက်ခွင့်ရမယ်ဆိုရင်ကျွန်တော်ရဲ့ပညာရေးကိုပညာရေးကဏ္ဍမှာလူစက်တော်ရင်းနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ဒီပညာကျွန်တော်အများနဲ့နေသေးအဲ့လိုမျိုး technical ဘိုင်းနဲ့ပတ်သက်တဲ့ပညာရေးပိုင်းကိုသူတို့အနေနဲ့ဘယ်လောက်ထိထောက်ပံ့မှုညွှန်လင်းချက်ရှိလဲเนาะသူတို့ဆောင်ရွက်နေခဲ့တဲ့အရာတွေမှာဒီပညာရေးကဏ္ဍဘက်မှာသူတို့ဘယ်လောက်ထိဆောင်ရွက်မှုတွေရှိခဲ့လဲအဲ့ဒီတစ်ချက်တော့ဒီ
I think that is a very important question. So if you look at the MTN Foundation, across all our nuclear operations, the big focus is on education and health. As you saw in the video here, in our schools connectivity program, which is where we provide internet access to schools through not just providing laptops, but ensuring that we have the coverage there. That's the big one as well. Secondly, we will partner with the government to see what are the priority programs and priority regions in the space of education, because education is so broad. Is it from youth development or even senior? But education is a very important part of the MTN Foundation, and we use our technology to ensure that young children and people in the education space have access to the technology, which then gives them better chances of succeeding.
ပညာရေးကဏ္ဍနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့ဒီ MTN Foundation လုပ်နေတာကတော့အရင်ကကြီးမားစေတယ်မှာအဲ့ဒီဒါလည်းခုန presentation မှာတွေ့ပြတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်။သူတို့အနေနဲ့ဒီ data တဲ့အကြောင်းတွေသူတို့ပြင်ဒီကျေးလက်မှာရှိနေတဲ့အကြောင်းတွေကိုသူတို့ဒီအကြောင်းဆက်သွယ်ရေးအစီအစဉ်ကနေသူတို့ internet တွေပေးတယ်။အဲ့လို internet ချိတ်ဆက်မှုလုပ်ပေးတဲ့အခါမှာသူတို့ laptop တစ်ခုတွေပေးရုံပေါ့အဲ့ဒီနေရာမှာ internet ဆက်သွယ်မှုရအောင်လုပ်ပေးတယ်။အဲ့လိုလုပ်ပေးခြင်းအပြင်သူတို့အဲ့ဒီ data မှာရှိနေတဲ့ကလေးတွေနဲ့ချက်ပို့ပြီးတော့ပညာရေးမှာဖွံ့ဖြိုးတိုးတက်လာအောင်လေ။နောက်တစ်ခုကအစိုးရအနေနဲ့ဦးစားပေးထားတဲ့ပညာရေးနဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးဦးစားပေးတဲ့နေရာတွေဘယ်နေရာတွေရှိတယ်ပေါ့။အဲ့ဒီနေရာတွေပေါ်မှာလည်းလိုက်ပြီးတော့ဒီအစိုးရအစီအစဉ်တွေတိုင်းသူတို့လိုက်ပြီးတော့လုပ်ပေးပါတယ်။ဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုတော့ဒီပညာရေးကဏ္ဍဆိုတာကျမတို့ဒီလူငယ်ဖွံ့ဖြိုးရေးအတွက်အရင်အရေးကြီးတဲ့ကဏ္ဍနောက်နိုင်ငံဖွံ့ဖြိုးရေးအတွက်အရင်အရေးကြီးတဲ့ကဏ္ဍဖြစ်တယ်လို့ပြော။ဟောလို့ဘာရပါလဲ။အခုဒီမှာ license ရှောက်ထားတဲ့ company တွေကလည်းနာမည်ကြီးတွေလည်းပါတယ်ပေါ့။ဒီနာမည်ကြီး company တွေလည်းအားပါတော့ဒီ ATM ဒီ MTN company တွေနဲ့အောင်နော်။ဘယ်လောက် license ရဖို့အတွက်ဘယ်လောက်မျှော်လင့်ချက်ရှိတယ်လို့ဆိုတာလေးသိတယ်မှာရှိ။
Yes, I think you know, if you look at we've now been shortlisted with the last few. I think MTN remains very confident, and we're going to give it our best. We have competed with some of these parties in other operations where we have won. So we're very positive, and we feel very confident of the bid that we'll be submitting, and also quite supportive or quite grateful of the support that even our government is giving us, which is quite important for us.
MTN အနေနဲ့ကတော့သူတို့ဒီ shortlist မှာပါလာတဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်သူတို့တွေလည်းတော်တော်လေးကိုကောင်းမြင်လာတယ်ပေါ့နော်သူတို့လိုပဲနောက်ထပ်ပြန်ဆိုင်တဲ့ကုန်ပစ္စည်းအများကြီးရှိတယ်သိတယ်ဒါပေမဲ့သူတို့ကဒါအပြုသဘောဆောင်တယ်သူတို့ဘက်ကလည်းကောင်းမြင်တယ်ဒါသူတို့ဒါကိုဖြစ်နိုင်တယ်ရှိမယ်လို့ပြောနေတယ်နောက်တစ်ခုကလည်းသူတို့နိုင်ငံဘက်ကလည်းသူတို့တော်တော်လေးကိုထောက်ပံ့ကူညီထားတယ်လို့သူတို့ရှာနေတယ်ပြောနေမှာပဲသူတို့ဘက်ကကောင်းတယ်
လို့တော့ကောင်းကြည့်နေရောဒီကနေ့တော့ကောင်းပြီပါတယ်ဘာတစ်ခုဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံပွင့်လင်းလာတဲ့အချိန်တုန်းကလူတယ်လီကွန်နဲ့ကြောက်ဖို့စိတ်ဝင်စားလာတာ။နောက်အရင်တည်းကဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာလူလို့ဖို့စိတ်ကူးရှိခဲ့တာ။ပထမတစ်ချက်ပါ။ဒီတစ်ချက်ကတော့ဒီအခုမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့လက်ရှိဆက်သွယ်ရေးစနစ်ကိုဘယ်လိုမြင်ပါလဲ။ပြီးတော့အခုမဆက်သွယ်ရေးတုံးနဲ့ဆက်သွယ်ရေးနည်းပညာပေါ့။အဲ့ဒီကိုဘယ်လိုမြင်လဲ။နောက်ဆုံးအချက်ကတော့အခုမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့လက်ရှိတုံးနေတဲ့နည်းပညာစနစ်တရားပေါ့နော်။နောက်နိုင်ငံတွေပြီးလို့ဆိုနောက်နိုင်ငံလို့ပါသိ
Okay, so your first question, obviously in the opening up process, that's when we found out, like many other operations. The second one, in terms of the technology, I think the technology that we see in Myanmar is fairly the same to what we saw in Rwanda and in Iran when we first got there. So it is quite like any other emerging market. If you talk about how quickly can we catch up with the rest of Europe, like I said, if you look at what we've done in Iran, in less than 6 months, we've rolled out quite significant coverage in there. We also have at the same time rolled out 3G, WiMAX, and also testing LTE. So I think in the process we'll be doing two things. One, will be catching up in terms of increasing the reach, and two, we'll also be investing in making sure that the technology is the same as the rest of Europe. And I think the beauty of environments like Myanmar is whatever we put in ground will be the latest of the greatest, which will be a step ahead of where other operations are, allow us to catch up.
Now the quite a lot of media in India and the Malay, the India, the Rwanda, Uganda, African, Iran, we need a Tabu made it as a whole. Now the Rory, who let's see, no many Pinari, the latest technology to the Katara, Chow Lala, Greyhound, tomorrow the commander, don't need it, Nazo, Semi, Program, and will keep on like အခုလိုစိတ်ဝင်စားမိမြတ်တဲ့အတွက်အထူးပဲကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိပါတယ်။ကျွန်တော်တို့ဆက်လက်ပြီးတော့နောက်ပိုင်း interview group interview များကိုဆက်လက်ပြီးပြုလုပ်သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်။
So if MTN is awarded as an operator license, so what will be offered in Myanmar telecommunication sector?
Well, I think for one is improving the availability of telecommunications across a wider footprint. That's one. So we talk of quite extensive network rollout. We talk of quite extensive distribution, particularly of airtime and services. We then also talk of significant investments in technology, not just basic voice, but all the way up to high-speed data, including 3G and Wi-Fi and WiMAX. We also talk of working with local partners to improve the small to medium-sized enterprises, which is quite big. And most importantly, under our MTN Foundation, is partnering with local government to work on saying how do we invest in the society that we live in as well.
So if not awarded the license, so what are your other plans in Myanmar?
Well, I think we will continue to look for opportunities within Myanmar, looking at how big the spectrum is, noting that it's the first two licenses. Obviously, if there's a third is offered after the process, we will also ensure that we're available there as well.
So Myanmar government started to propose major changes to the country's telecom sector last year. So how do you see on Myanmar telecom reform?
I think the reform is very positive. It does talk to making sure that telephony is available to as wide a forum as positive, and I think that is the type of environment that MTN welcomes.
Yeah. So would you like to say anything next?
Well,
our audience?
Yes, I think we certainly have really had a very warm welcome to Myanmar. We look forward to ensuring that we do get the license and to make sure that we bring the yellow touch and the yellow magic to the people of Myanmar.
So if MTN is awarded the license, so what kind of opportunities will be offered to Myanmar people?
Absolutely. I think the very important thing here is MTN always works with local people. We have extensive training, and if you look at the people we're going to require on the ground, from the call center, from customer service to engineers to sales and distribution, our approach is we build extensive MTN Academy, we train local people, and to ensure that we build the network that is for the people of Myanmar, by the people of Myanmar.
So any other comments?
I think most important for us, our mission really is to improve the lives of the people where we operate, and we intend to do that in Myanmar.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your answers.
Thanks a lot.
What are MTN's key brand strengths, which you think position the company strongly in the Myanmar market?
Sorry, let me read it again.
Yeah. What are MTN's key brand strengths, which you think will position the Myanmar company strongly in the Myanmar market?
Okay. Well, our brand strategies are always focused around making sure that we are locally relevant, which is quite important. So we always make sure that our communication and our advertising is in local language. The other important thing is sponsorships. We play quite a significant role in sponsorships. We sponsor football in most of the countries that we operate in because people are passionate about football. So we bring a lot of sponsorships in that regard. We also have a lot of international sponsorships. So we've had a partnership with Manchester United, which has been quite good. So I think for us, it's really about applying our brand strategy in a manner that makes it locally and appealing for the people of Myanmar.
How does MTN support communities in its market?
So if you look at what we do under the MTN Foundation, we invest quite a lot in health and education. We have quite an extensive schools connectivity program where we bring internet access to schools so that we can ensure that the local people are empowered.
How does a country's economy benefit from having MTN as a mobile operator?
Absolutely. I think if you look at the global research that's been done, that where there is improvement in penetration, of mobile penetration, it actually does result in improvement of GDP. So there is a very strong link between mobile internet access and growth of the economy, and we think that we play a big role in that.
What is like working for a global brand like MTN?
Well, I think it's quite an exciting job to be working for a global brand like MTN. You know, I was involved in the project that brought the World Cup to South Africa, and it was quite good to be working with a global company, working on a global competition and competing against global brands.
What is MTN's track record in the rolling out of the network infrastructure of in new markets, in now markets?
I think if you look at the examples that we made, that the recent example being in Iran and in Rwanda, we took about 6 months to roll out, and I think for us it's really about ensuring that we bring all our partners on board to roll out as quickly and as fast as possible, and more importantly, with the highest quality.
Yes. Tell us about some of the existing MTN products and services, which the people in Myanmar can look forward to it. MTN is awarded an operating system.
Perfect. We have some quite unique properties in MTN. One of our most exciting tariffs is MTN Zone, which is quite a unique tariff plan and an MTN first. And this allows us, even in certain environments, to offer quite a number of high discounts, even offering up to 100% discount on some of our calls, MTN to MTN. So this is quite a unique tariff plan that we've rolled out in many of our operations. We'll be bringing you through. Mobile money, we have quite a unique and exciting environment which allows people to transfer money from villages into cities. We partner with local banks and allow the unbanked population to have this. In the data space, we have a lot. We have MTN Play, which is quite a robust portal, which has everything from music, entertainment, news, and sport. So that will also bring in quite, especially for the youth who love their music.
How does innovation and best practice MTN grow?
Well, I think for us, innovation is important. Innovation makes sure that we stay in the forefront. And we are proud at MTN to actually have many global innovations where we've been first. You know, we are amongst the first operators in the world to roll out prepaid services. So I think MTN prides ourselves in being not just a relevant innovation, but also a world leader in innovation. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Yes, okay. At first, may I know your name and your responsibility, please?
Sure. My name is Sarame Daukubong. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for MTN in South Africa.
Okay, may I also know about your brand MTN? So please explain about that.
MTN is a brand that was formed in South Africa in 1994. We are 19 years old young. We're a brand that is now servicing mobile telecommunications. First started off as mobile telecommunications, but now we're telecommunications quite broader than that. We operate in 22 countries, 17 countries on the African continent, as well as the Middle East. So we are in Iran, Afghanistan, Yemen, Syria, and Cyprus. We're a company of 27,000 people. We have a market cap of about 38 billion. We've been ranked as amongst the top 8 telecommunications provider in the world. We service about 200 million subscribers across our continent, and our brand has been ranked amongst the top 100 brands in the world.
Okay, so what kind of services and products of your products that I can hope, especially in Myanmar, can help in the future?
Absolutely. So I think if you look at just our approach, first of all, we intend to build an expensive network. So it means that the network is available across the entire country, which is quite important. Secondly, we support that with a very strong distribution, making sure that we distribute our cards not just physically but also electronically, which means that more people can have access to those cards. We focus on very strong customer service, where we have quite a lot of call centers and service centers aiming to service our customers. So that's just on the basics. Importantly, on our voice products, we have a wide range of innovation that we have in our products. One of them being what we call MTN Zone, which is a unique tariff plan that is owned by MTN, which we've rolled out across many of our operations. What it allows us to do is to offer quite aggressive discounts that even on some networks we can offer up to 100% discounts on MTN to MTN calls. So it's really about building the MTN community. We have quite a unique, exciting property we call mobile money, which allows us working with banks to allow people from even outside the cities to be able to access and transfer money to their communities, which actually allows the unbanked to now be banked. We have a whole range of data products as well. We have quite a strong portal called MTN Play, which has all the latest music, football, sport and entertainment. So we have everything for everyone. We also have quite extensive products aimed at supporting medium to large businesses, both from Wi-Fi, from fiber infrastructure, and from end-to-end connectivity. So we do everything.
Well, okay, there's another one that I want to know. What are the MTN's key brand strengths, especially for the Myanmar market?
Super. I think if you look at our strength, first of all, we like the color yellow. Yellow talks of positivity, it talks of sunshine, it talks of brightness. And that's what we will bring, quite a lot of yellow. Two, we always make sure that we talk in the language of the community that we operate in. So we'll be working quite a lot with the local advertising community to make sure that the communication we develop is quite relevant. For us, it's really about how can we make the lives of the communities that we operate in differently, and most importantly, how do we take these communities into a digital new world?
Okay, what about the marketing activities? For example, some kinds of sponsorship or that can globally to build the MTN brand?
Absolutely. Sponsorship has been quite key for us as MTN. As you might know, we were the first and only African sponsor of the World Cup, which happened in 2010. It was quite significant for us to be involved with such a world-class tournament in there. We've always been involved in football, not just on the continent, but in all our other operations that we operate in. Recently, we just had a good partnership with Man United. We were the mobile supplier of content for Africa, for Man United, which was quite a very positive sponsorship for us. So we will be bringing that approach into football, into the arts, into whatever is the passion of the people of Myanmar. But I think football, everybody loves. So we'll definitely be bringing innovation into the football space.
Okay, this is the last question.
Yes, sir.
So how can I get, especially the people in Myanmar can get from MTN?
I think what people look for in Myanmar, we just want to say welcome to the new world. We're definitely going to bring people into the new world, a new digital world, a new connected world, a world where information is available and like everybody else, where the internet is right and it's fast.
Thank you for answering, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
According to your MTN, I realized that your MTN is marketing with services. So your MTN is the future strategic market plan in Myanmar.
Yes. I think for us, really, if I can summarize it, it's really about saying welcome to the new world. Welcome to the new digital world. Welcome to the world of the latest